Hello dear students, today in this lecture we will discuss about the topic integration of peaks. What do you mean by the integration of peak actually? This is made to predict the peak area under a peak, and that peak which is appeared by the spin splitting of. And what do you mean by spin splitting? So this is actually the interaction of the spin states of the nucleus, which are present in the adjacent position and that are non-equivalent, means they are present in the different chemical environment, right? So different chemical environments, protons have the spin coupling. Due to this coupling, there is the spreading of the signal into the various peaks, and the area under the peak in a multiplate is actually maybe same or maybe different. This depends upon the multiplate, means how many peaks are appeared in the multiplate. Or we can say that signal is splitted into the how many peaks. And this can be determined on the basis of Pascal triangle. Okay. So for example, if a signal is splitted into two peaks, then there will be the intensity ratio of the peaks is equal, means 50-50. And if the peak is signal is splitted into three peaks, then there is the intensity of the signal is 1:2:1 of the first, second, and third peak respectively. This can be predicted by using this method, or by studying this lecture. Learning objective of this class: to learn the concept of peak area and determination of number of protons of each type, and to know the concept of multiplicity of signals, means how a signal is splitted into the multiplet, and analysis of NMR spectra to understand the structure of organic compounds. So once we get the information about the peak area under us multiplet, we can determine it and the number of the peaks in the multiplet. We can determine the types of groups present in the compound. We can also determine the neighborhood, the number of protons present in the neighborhood position. And once we get the types of the protons and at the neighborhood position, which type of the protons and how many protons are present, then we can actually easily understand the NMR spectra, to determine the structure of organic compound. Because basically organic compound is constituted by the carbon and hydrogen, means these are basically hydrocarbons, and sometimes maybe different type of the groups are present with this hydrocarbon chain. This hydrocarbon chain may be aliphatic or maybe hydrophobic. Sorry, maybe aliphatic, maybe aromatic, maybe cyclic, right? And the learning outcomes of this class, a student would be able to get knowledge that how many protons are present is there under a NMR signal appeared for an organic compound. And a student would be able to detect the structure of organic compounds, because ultimately our motto to do the study of NMR spectrums is to characterize the molecules. To characterize means to determine the structure of the molecule of the compound, organic compound. Okay, and determination of structure of organic compound means determination of the carbons, number of carbon, type of carbon, number of hydrogen, types of hydrogen, etc. Either it is present with the carbon, protons are present with the carbon, or protons are present with the heteroatoms like nitrogen, with oxygen, with sulfur, etc. Right? So coming into the topic integration of peak. So what is actually the definition of integration of peak? Not only does each different type of hydrogen give a distinct peak in the NMR spectrum, but we can also tell the relative number of each type of hydrogen by a process called integration. Integration means that is equals to determination of the peak area under a peak. Means what is the ratio of the area under a peak if there are more than one peaks in the signal or in the multiplet. So the area under a peak is proportional to the number of hydrogens that the peak. That is very important. The peak area is directly proportional to the number of hydrogens that generating the peak. Okay. Means for example, if we have the category of the protons 1, 2, 3. Category 1 has the 1 proton. Category B has the 2 proton. Category 3 has the C has the 3 protons. Then the peak area of these protons A, B, and C would be 1 ratio 2 ratio 3. That would be the ratio of the peak area of these protons. That's the reason why TMS has used as internal reference because TMS has 12 protons in its structure which are chemically equivalent and shows very intense peak, right? And in a very small quantity, its peak is appeared in the spectrum and can be determined easily. So once we get the information about the peak area, we can exactly detect the number of the protons under the peak. To understand this thing, we are taking here the example. The integral lines rises an amount proportional to the number of hydrogen in each peak. This is integral lines 1, 2, 3. These are three signals. Signal 1, 2, and 3. The signal 1, this signal is for these aromatic protons, 5 protons. This signal is for CS2 protons, and this signal is for CS3 protons. Okay. How we have detected this? Actually, on the basis of chemical environment around the protons. Around CS3 protons, the chemical environment is means the carbon is attached, and carbon does not show very much minus effect. So the these protons shows an MR signal at higher fielding than compared to CS2 protons because at CS2 proton it is connected with the oxygen and also connected with the aromatic ring. Okay, and both have the minus effect and minus effect on the CS2 protons. Means deshielding these CS2 protons, and if deshielding is there, then this signal is somewhat showing in the downfield region than compared to the CS3 proton. And if you talk about the aromatic protons, then their signal will appear at the very downfield region. This is due to the minus effect of the ring as well as of the the main factor is the dominant factor is the anisotropic effect. Due to anisotropic effect, there is the paramagnetic ring current around the protons of the ring, and that displaces the protons, and the if this is the protons very much, then their signal will appear at very low field region. But the question is why these signals are appearing in the this ratio. This the signal intensity of the signal or peak area of the signal is less than this peak, and its signal is less than this peak, the third peak. Why this is so? This is due to the number of protons for which this peak is appeared. Because here we see here that this peak, last peak, very downfilled peak is for actually benzene protons, because these protons are very decelerated and these protons are 5 in the number. That is the reason the peak is appeared in very large ratio. Okay, and these CS2 protons are only 2 protons. So accordingly, the peak area for CS2 protons peak is low, and peak area for CS2 protons is somewhat greater than the CS2 protons. This is due to the number of protons present in these groups, right? So integration of peak means whatever the number of peaks under each type of the protons, whatever the number of protons under each type of the groups, results the peak area in the same ratio. For example, these protons, suppose this is one, this is A, this is B type, and this is C type of protons. A protons, A type of protons are 3, B types of protons are 2, and C types of protons are 5. So accordingly, their peak area is also in the ratio 3 ratio 2 ratio 5. That is very important. And this is equals to 33 ratio 32 ratio 55. When this is simplified, then it is actually 5 ratio 2 ratio 3. This is the exact ratio we obtained of the peak areas of these type of protons. So this is called the integration of peak. And to integrate actually the peak area under this signal is 58.117, and peak area for this second peak signal is 21.215, and the peak area for a type of proton CST proton, this is 33.929. So actually, to get the simplest ratio of their peaks, we divide the peak areas by the peak area under a one proton, under a single proton. For example, this is the peak area 33.929 for CST proton. Okay, this we have take as standard, but and the peak area ratio is 33.929. But this peak area is for 3 protons. So what will be the peak area for a single proton? That would be the 33.929 upon 3. That means 11.3. Right? So for C3 protons, the peak area for one proton is 11.3. So just like the same, we divide now the other peak areas by the 11.3, because 11.3 is the peak area for one proton. So this peak area when divided by 11.3, then its resulting value will be 1.90. It means this is around 2, means this peak or this signal is appeared for 2 protons. And here if we calculate 58.117 divided by 11.3, then the result is 5.14. Means this signal is appeared for 5 protons, because 5.14 is the value approximate the 5. Okay, so if we take any one signal as a standard peak area per protons, then we can calculate for other signals that how many protons are present, or for how many protons this signal is appeared. So once we get the information about the protons, number of protons, type of the proton, easily we can determine on the basis of the signals, number of signals. For example, if here three signals are present, means three types of the protons are present in the compound. But now question is, what is the number of each type of the protons? So this can be detected on the basis of integration of peak, and we have detected in this lecture here in this slide very well. Very easy method it is. In the net gate exams and the various type of the completed exams, this type of the questions are asked frequently. Very important chapter this is NMR spectroscopy, because basically organic compound is constituted by the component hydrogen or the protons. So once if we can detect the types of and number of protons, then we can easily detect the types of the organic groups and also inorganic groups, and we can finally detect the structure of the compound. This is the actually NMR spectrum of the phenyl acetone. Phenyl acetone. Here in the phenyl acetone, there are three types of the protons. If we see this structure, CH3CO, CH2, and phenyl ring. Here are five protons because at each carbon one hydrogen is present, except this carbon which is connected with the CH2 group. Except this carbon, these rest of the five carbon have the five hydrogens, one hydrogen at each carbon. So if we see here in this compound, there are three types of the protons: CH3, CH2, and phenyl rings protons. They are present in the different chemical environment because different type of the groups are attached with each type of the protons. And if different type of the protons are present, then there will be different signals. Means there will be a signal for each type of the protons. So there are three types of the protons. So three signals are appeared here, and according to the electron density around the proton, their signal appeared in this order. Since the protons are appeared at very high field zone, its value is around 2 ppm in this scale, and the protons of CH2 group are appeared as signal in around in between 3 to 4 ppm value, while the aromatic protons are very distant, and its signal is appeared around 7 point something, 7 to 7.3. Now, to understand the integration of the peak, we must have to learn about the spin splitting, because the peak area around the peak or the peak under the peak are also different in a same multiplet, and this depends upon the spin splitting, spin coupling. So how much time the spin states coupling to each other will result the peak area in the same ratio. Means the time of the interaction or the interaction period is directly proportional to the peak area in a single multiplet. And this can be understood on the basis of following concepts. Often a group of hydrogen will appear as a multiplet rather than as a single peak. Group of hydrogens, they appear as multiplet rather than a single peak. But this is happen because of interaction of these protons with neighboring hydrogens. If there are no neighboring hydrogens, with the protons or the group of protons, if there are no hydrogens at the adjacent position or the neighboring hood, then there will be no splitting of the signal. This signal will, appear as a singlet, means single peak. But in most of cases, protons are present at the adjacent position. But how many protons are present at the adjacent position? This can be detected on the basis of multiplet. Means how many peaks are appeared in the multiplet. The result, the results the or these are the results of the number of proton at the adjacent position. For example, if singlet is appeared for a signal, then it means there is no proton in the neighborhood position. But if there are one proton at the neighborhood position, then the signal for the particular or specific protons, specific hydrogen, is split into doublet. Is two peaks. If there are CS2 protons, means two protons are at neighboring position, then the signal of the specific protons for which the peak is generated, the signal is appeared as triplet is three peaks. And the peak error ratio of this triplet is 1:2:1 actually. This depends upon the spin interactions. And next is quadret. Four peaks are, you know, a signal is split into four peaks, and the peak error ratio is 1:3:3:1. And like the same, the quintet five peaks are there, and the ratio is 1:4:6:4:1. And just like septet, octet, and nonet, etc. In this example, 1,1,2 trichloroethane, there are two types of the protons. In the ethane, there are two types of the proton. One is CH2 protons and second is CH protons. And these protons are present at the neighboring positions, adjacent positions. So their signal will split according to n+1 rule. Here, n is the number of proton at adjacent position. So for example, if we are taking the signal for CS proton actually is this. The first integral peak is the peak of CS protons, and second integral peak is the peak of CS2 protons. How we have detected this? On the basis of peak area or peak intensity. The peak area or peak intensity for this peak is just up to that of this peak. Means the peak area ratio, signal area ratio is 1:2. Means first type of group and second type of protons are in this 1:2. That's why the area of the signal is in the 1:2. It is must to learn. But now the question is, these signals are not appeared as singlet. Means there are several peaks in the multiplet. Here are two peaks. Here are two peaks. Two same peaks have the same intensity. Have the same intensity. So why two peaks are appeared in this multiplet for CS2 protons? Because in the neighborhood position of the CS2 protons, there is one proton. Means value of n is 1. So according to n+1 rule, this signal will split into 1+1 means 2. Means 2 peak. Signal is split into the 2 peaks. That's why there are 2 peaks in this multiplet. But if we talk about these CH protons, two protons are present at the adjacent position, means and value is 2, and 2 plus 1 is equal to 3, means the signal of CS proton is split into 3 peaks. That is 1, 2, 3. And the ratio of these peaks is in 1 ratio 2 ratio 1 according to Pascal triangle. But Pascal has given this triangle on the basis of intensity of the signal, intensity of the peak in a multiplied on the basis of spin-spin interactions. The subpeaks are due to spin-spin splitting and are predicted by the n plus 1 rule. Each type of proton senses the number of equivalent protons on the carbon atom next to the one which it is bonded, and its resonance peak is split into n plus 1 components. So what did it say? Each proton senses that how many protons are present at the adjacent position. But how it senses? It senses actually the spin, orientation, which type of the spin pairs are present, which type of the spin is of the neighboring protons actually. Suppose two protons are present in the neighborhood position, then either these two protons are spinning in the clockwise direction, or it may be that these two protons are spinning in the anti-clockwise direction, or it may be the possibility that first proton is spinning in the clockwise direction, and while the second proton is spinning in the anti-clockwise direction. And it may also be possibility that the first proton is spinning in the anti-clockwise direction, and second proton is spinning in the clockwise direction. So there are actually four spin orientations. One spin orientation, which is okay. These things will be discussed in the next slides. Yeah. If we talk about the CS protons of the same 112 trichloroethane, this we are talking about the signal of this protons, CS protons. So is its spin, the spin of this proton, spin state of this proton will interact with the spin orientation of these two protons. And the spin orientations of two protons are actually according to n plus 1 rule. Is 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. 3 spin orientations this these two protons have. So this proton will interact with the 3 spin orientations of these two protons, and its signal is split into the 3 peaks. Because these type of the spin orientations are different. Either it may be clockwise, it may be anti-clockwise, or maybe overall resulting spinning is 0. We can understand this thing, or we will discuss in the next slides. And the peak of these two protons, CS2 protons, is split into doublet, two peaks, because one neighbor is present here. According to one neighbor, the n plus 1 rule, the of value of n is equal to 1. So according to n plus 1 rule, 1 plus 1 is equal to 2, means doublet will be there. But n plus 1 rule is actually have some exceptions. In all type of the cases, it is not applicable. So which type of the cases are there for which it is not applicable and it is applicable? So the first point is the protons that are equivalent by symmetry usually do not split one another. Here we can see that XCHCHY. This is the compound. And X and Y compound, X and Y groups attached with the CH protons are actually same. Means X is equal to Y. So if X and Y are the same groups, same substituents, then in this case we will we can say that these CH protons are two CH groups are actually identical. They are chemically equivalent. And if they are chemically equivalent, then these protons do not interact with each other. Means their spin orientation, their spinning states do not interact. For the interaction, there is the requirement of different chemical environment around the proton. Means these must be non-equivalent. If you see the second cases, X connected with CH2, CH2Y, there is also no splitting of these protons. No splitting of the signal for these protons because X and Y are here equivalent. So in case of equivalent protons, or we can say in case of symmetric molecules, there is no splitting of the signal. But if we talk about the second compound, that is protons in the same group usually do not split one another. Protons present of the in the same group means if you are talking the protons of CH3 group, or we are talking here if you are talking about the CH2 protons, these CH2 protons, then these two CH2 protons means these two protons of these CH2 groups, they do not interact to each other. Their spin orientation do not interact because they are present in the same chemical environment. Both the hydrogens are attached with the same carbon, so they do not interact. They do not split their signals. Okay. So the next point is N plus one rule is applies principle to protons in aliphatic with saturated chain on saturated rings. So N plus one rule is applicable for those protons which are either aliphatic or the saturated rings, not for aromatic compound, for alkenes. So for CH2, 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 CH3, these protons, and for these protons CH3H, CH2, 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 these protons, N plus 1 rule is applicable. Means splitting of the signal is there due to the spin splitting. But this does not applicable, this cannot be applied to protons on double bonds or on benzene rings. This can be understood on the basis of or by taking the following examples. This is the example here. These two protons, these three protons, 1, 2, and 3. These protons are actually present at the doubly bonded carbon. So, although these protons interact to each other, although these protons interact to each other, their spin orientation, you know, interact to each other, but splitting of the signal is not according to N+1 rule. And in this case, it is also not applicable. Means for these ring protons, these rings protons, this is orthoprotons, metaprotons, paraprotons, with respect to this group, are actually different. They will interact with the neighboring protons. split their signals, but not according to the n plus 1 rule. There is appearance of the double doublets for these protons, orthoprotons, double doublet for paraprotons, etc. Doublet for you know paraprotons, metaprotons, and there may be complex multiplet for these all protons. Yeah, if you talk about this case, toluene, then a multiplet will obtain a complex multiplet will obtain for these protons, not the doublet, triplet, quartet for different protons. For all protons, there is a single multiplet. Some common patterns. These are some common patterns of the peaks. These protons, if X and Y are not equivalent, then we can say that these protons are actually chemically different. If these are chemically different, they will interact with each other and split their signals. So this one proton will split the signal of these protons into two peaks, and this proton also interact with this proton, and its peak will appear as doublet according to n plus 1 rule. Okay, so like this M, these CH3 protons when interact with these CH protons, then these CH3 protons splitted the signals of CH proton into quadrate, means four peaks according to n plus 1 rule. So there are also the same cases. Okay, there is also another cases where splitting is there, and Br CH2 CH3. There are two types of the protons. They are chemically equivalent and non-equivalent. CH2 protons are chemically different to that of the CH3 protons. Why this is so? Because CH2 protons are attached with the bromine atom, which is high electronegative, while CH3 protons are attached with the CH2, right, which is not, you know, which is electron donating. That's the reason their chemical environment is different, and for these two protons, two signals will appear. And since these are in the neighborhood position, so their signals are split into the multiplet according to n plus 1 rule. Because this is the case of aliphatic compound. And for aliphatic compounds, for splitting n plus 1 rule is applicable, right? So this is also another example, CH3, CH, CH3. There are two types of the protons. One type is CH3, CH3 proton, second is CS proton. They are non-equivalent. This is CH3COH aldehyde. There are also two types of the proton, CH3NH, and this CH2 proton. This hydrogen, which is attached directly with the carbon, is actually very distilled, very much distilled. Why this is very much distilled? This is because of anisotropic effect generated by the circulation of pi electron density around these double bonds. And this generates paramagnetic ring current around this proton, which desealed this proton. Because paramagnetic ring current reinforces the applied magnetic field. So when proton is present in the paramagnetic zone, this zone, you know, reinforce enhance the applied magnetic field, and this transfer this field to the proton. And proton easily experience this applied magnetic field and give the signals. Or we can say at very low magnetic field, just give the signals. Okay. But if you talk about the CST proton, there are electron density around this proton. There is no such type of the paramagnetic zone. There is no deshielding. There are protons around there are electrons around this proton. There is high electron density around this proton. If there is high electron density around this proton, then this high electron density shields this proton very well and do not transfer the So do not, pass the applied magnetic field or transfer to these protons. Do not transfer easily. Means this electron density actually generates a induced magnetic field. And this induced magnetic field opposes the applied magnetic field. Okay. So whatever the field we apply to resonate these protons, do not feel these protons actually. They feel less applied magnetic field, whatever we applied. So to increase the field, to resonate these protons, we have to, the increase the applied magnetic field means we have to up the magnetic field. Means these protons are resonate at the upfield reason, upfield strength. So their signal is called as upfield signal. Means towards the signal of internal reference compound, that is TMS. And its value of the TMS is 0 ppm. Now these are the reference books via some elementary organic spectroscopy and publication, and the PDF link is this. You just simply copy this link and paste on the Google, you will get a PDF of this book. And the second big book is very, it is worldwide salt book, and this is authored by Robert Silverstein, Spectrometric Identification of Organic Compounds of the Wiley publication. And this is the PDF link of this book. This is PDF link of this Silverstein book. Now the MCQs based on this lecture, and the first MCQ is we can also tell the relative number of each type of hydrogen by a process called. So by which process we can tell the relative number of each type of the protons? By which process? By which term? By which property? Or by which parameter? Either by chemical set, desilting, shielding, or integration. So simply, it can be determined on the basis of integration of the peak. The second question is the area under a peak is proportional to D that generates the peak. So actually, area under a peak is directly proportional to the number of the protons that generate the peak. So number of protons, or we can say number of hydrogens. So A option is correct option, number of hydrogens. The question is, third question is, the integral lines rises an amount proportional to the dot in each peak. This also integral lines rises the amount of, or this is proportional to the number of hydrogens. So this is actually a different way to ask the question. The same concept. So many questions will be there. So many questions may be there which are based on the same concept. But the way to ask this question will be different. Will be different. Yeah, but the main thing is that we should understand the concept very well. We can, if we get the concept, then whatever the question arises based on it, we can solve easily. Okay. Now the next question is, what is correct peak area uh, around? So what is correct peak area of A, B, and C types of protons in the compound? And this is the compound CH5. Protons are of A type connected with the CS2. B type protons bonded with oxygen, CO group, carbonyl group, and CH3 groups. And CH3 groups are CH3 protons are of C types proton. So accordingly, on the basis of the number of protons of each type, the area of peak is in the ratio of 5:2:3. In which option this is the ratio 5:2:3? In the B option. The area under the peak is in the ratio 5:2:3. Okay, so we can easily identify this thing. Question 5 is what is correct order of chemical shift value for A, B, and C type of the proton in the compound C6H5, CS2O, CO, CS3. Correct order of chemical shift value. So I have already told about this thing, about this concept, that the chemical shift value is based on the electron density around the proton. So if you talk about these protons, CH3 protons are in the the electron density around the CH2 proton is greater than the CH2 protons because CH2 protons have two groups which are electron withdrawing, strong electron withdrawing, while CH3 proton is not attached to such type of the groups which is strongly electron withdrawing. So the electron density of the CH2 protons, CH3 protons are greater than the CH2. So the for CH3 protons, the chemical shift value will be lowest because its signal will appear at high magnetic field means a field and a field means lower delta value. So the delta value lower is for C means chemical shift value is lowest. And for C6H5 protons, these protons are actually very distilled due to the anisotropic effect. So the chemical shift value or the delta value for these protons is very high. So for A protons, delta value is high, and for B protons, in between the A and C type of proton. So C is greater than B is greater than A. A option is correct option about the delta value for the chemical value. Now the next question, sixth question is often a group of hydrogens will appear as a multiplet rather than as a single peak due to the. So why a signal is split into various peaks rather than as a single peak. So this is due to this happens because of interaction with neighboring proton, not with the neighboring carbon, nitrogen, and sulfur. This is due to the happening. This is happening because of interaction with neighboring hydrogens. This neighboring hydrogens lead a signal into the air space. Okay. Now the next question is what multiplet is observed for C-type protons in the compound? What multiplet is observed? So for all types of the sorry, it is asking about the C type of the protons. Okay? For C types of the protons, there is splitting of the signal into the multiplet for C types of the proton. See, basically the concept about the splitting of the signal is the number of protons at adjacent positions. So, is there any number of protons present in the adjacent position of the CH3 groups? No, because at the adjacent position there is CO groups. There is no hydrogen here. And after the CO, oxygen is there. No hydrogen here. But we actually see the protons at the adjacent position. And at the position there is no protons. So there is no splitting of the signal into the various peaks. Means the signal for CST proton is appeared as singlet. A signal which appeared in the form of single peak is called actually singlet. Right. The next question is in which type of compounds n plus 1 rule is not applied? For which type of compound n plus 1 rule is not applied? For aromatic protons or the proton which are attached with the double bond or with the doubly bonded carbon. So the C option is the correct option. You must have to understand these things very well. The question is nine. Ninth question is what is correct peak area order of A, B, C type of proton in the compound CH3, CH2H? So what is actually the correct peak area? So if you talk about A, B, and C type of protons, their ratio is 3:2:1. And according to their ratio, peak area ratio would be the same. Means peak area, correct peak area order is actually C is greater than B is greater than A. No, no. C is greater than B is greater than A. C is greater than B. No, sorry, A is greater than B greater than C. Because the peak area of A, B, and C protons is 3:2:1. So their peak area will be 3:2:1. Peak area for A proton would be greater than peak area for B is greater than peak area for C. So C option is correct option. The last and final question is which multiplet is observed for a type protons in the compound CH3 CH2OH? Which multiplet is observed? If you talk about the type of proton, the neighboring protons are two. CH2 protons are two. So for CH3 protons, the signal is splitted into the three peaks due to the interaction with the three spin orientation of the two CH2 protons. Means according to N+1 rule, the signal is splitted. And for CH2 protons, the signal is splitted into 3 plus 1 for 4 plus 1 is equals to. If actually this is not interact with the, if this does not interact with the spin states of the hydroxy groups, spin states of the hydroxy groups, if CH2 proton do not interact with the OH proton means, then its signal will split it into the 4 pygmies quartet due to the interaction with 3 protons. So quartet will be the correct option. C option will be the correct option. But if there is no, there is also the interaction of the CH2 protons with the OH proton. Then in that case, this signal is split into the multiplet according to N+1 N+1 rule. So in that case, signal will be split into the octet. But actually, OH protons do not interact with the CH2 protons easily. This is because the OH proton is actually, participate in the formation of hydrogen bond, and this exchange its position from one molecule to the another molecule. That's the reason why. And actually, its exchange time, the exchange time of the proton is actually, if greater than the NMR transition time, then NMR can't detect its, its interaction with the CH2 protons. That's the reason why quartet is, you know, mm, quartet is the multiplet obtained for CH2 protons. And for OH proton, CH3. But actually, we are talking about the A type of protons. So for A type of proton, triplet will be there. Okay. In the question, actually, it is only asked about the A type of proton. So for A type of proton, there are only the triplet in this signal due to the interaction with the two protons. Okay. So this is the material or the concepts about the topic. These are questions, and if you, any, still if you have any type of doubt, queries, any questions, then you can ask. Feel free to call to ask me. Thank you. Have a good day.